The key factor is there a third-party promoter here who knows much more about the instrument than investors might? If that's the case, that's sort of an initial indicator that we might have a securities transaction. If people are buying it for investment and for a return and looking to that party for a return, then again, that's an indicia of a security. If you have, on the other hand, a token that's just used in the network for a good or service, and that's why people are buying it, and that service is available and up and running, not under development, then you may not have a security.
Hey guys, welcome back to Make Money Online. We've got some great news coming out of the Ripple XRP space. We have the Hinman emails obtained from the SEC by the Southern District Court of New York. Attorney Jeremy Hogan confirms that Ripple is yet again ahead of the curve as the fintech startup goes all in to hint about how ridiculous the SEC's litigation tactics surrounding the Hinman emails appear to be. Furthermore, in that trend, after several months of fighting for a Freedom of Information Act request made to the SEC back on January 2nd, 2022, this Twitter user requested documentation based on these three requests: access to Bill Hinman's public calendar, and a list of the 63 email recipients he discussed the Hinman speech content with, or any official SEC meetings Jay Clayton had with Ethereum. And just as fate would have it, he just received a 3-page letter response from the FOIA Service Department of the SEC. Need I remind you guys that Coinbase, the leading exchange platform in the US and the sole initiator of the delisting of XRP from various other exchanges in the US, has recently relisted this lawsuit-ridden cryptocurrency. Guys, the market looks bullish, even though we could see the charts going sideways. For the experts, such downward trends are considered a better buy opportunity. And now that we have these leading exchanges looking to relist XRP, the growth potential for the Ripple asset is even more. In less than 24 hours, the entire market has been seeing some powerful pumps following a 50 basis point hike by the Federal Reserve, the banking authority in the US that performs the functions of a central bank and is used to implement the country's monetary policy. Even more exciting is this response to Stuart Young's FOIA request from the SEC, which he has been following up on since January of this year. But in a recent turn of events, primarily prompted by Judge Annalisa Torres' latest ruling, the SEC has now responded to that request. The said response bears a lot of exciting news, as we can see when reading the document's cover letter. In the meantime, do us a favor by hitting that subscribe button and turning on post notifications, and be sure to check out the description section for links to our Discord group as well. Now, let's get into the meat of today's headline. Okay, so going through the cover letter on this documentation, you'll find some really exciting facts here. Oh, and by the way, this is entirely legal, so don't hesitate to get your hands on the response to the said FOIA request, as it is considered public information. Link to that in the description section below. I'll be uploading a PNG version onto a server and providing you guys with a link to that, so do check it out. Now, going back to the cover letter on that response document sent out by the SEC themselves, you find that the SEC has come up with several justifications for their consistent redaction of every version of these court documents they send out. Second, and of more importance to me, as I would suppose to you as well, the SEC, with all of its hide-and-seek games, finally released a copy of Hinman's public calendar. Keep in mind that this calendar is only a public calendar of the former director of corporate finance and not of his private itinerary at the time, which should be entirely appropriate for the SEC to reveal. After all, aren't these guys all civil servants? But we'll still celebrate this as a win, given the SEC's reputation for never giving out information regarding its employees of even the most minute importance to the general public. Just before you get too excited, you might want to read this section of the peace document that says, "We're consulting with other SEC staff on item 1 of your request regarding Mr. Hinman's calendar. As soon as we complete our consultation, we will notify you of our findings." Uh-oh, what did I hear? The SEC hasn't exactly released the document, but they seem to say they might, but not before they conduct some consultation with an SEC staffer. Maybe the current chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, maybe his predecessor, Jay Clayton, or perhaps Hinman himself. I don't know. What we do know is two things. First, the SEC has agreed to conform to the FOIA request and release it. However, they'd have to do some in-house consultation before doing so. at which point that request might be denied depending on the outcome of the consultation. Could this be a delay tactic? We'll have to wait to find out.
So you said in your speech that neither Bitcoin nor Ether would be considered securities and thus not under the purview of the SEC. Can you very briefly explain what your reasoning is?
Sure, Bob. These are complex facts and circumstances tests, but when we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So we're comfortable in some sort of viewing these as items that don't have to be regulated as securities.
Now, you also talked about initial coin offerings or ICOs, which are ways of raising money using cryptocurrencies. Did you use a similar reasoning? You implied that most seem to be securities, ICOs, but some of them are not. Can you just show us what the difference is simply?
I wish we had a simple way to say this is in and this is out. As I mentioned, they're usually facts and circumstances tests. But a key factor is there a third-party promoter here who knows much more about the instrument than investors might? If that's the case, that's sort of an initial indicator that we might have a securities transaction. If people are buying it for investment and for a return and looking to that party for a return, then again, that's an indicia of a security. If you have, on the other hand, a token that's just used in the network for a good or service, and that's why people are buying it, and that service is available and up and running, not under development, then you may not have a security.
Yes, you heard that right. Now, just in case you missed out on the reason why these Hinman emails are important, that's because the former director of corporation finance during the same regime when Jay Clayton was the chairman of the SEC is believed to have passed unfair judgment on various crypto platforms while favoring some others, especially Ethereum, as you can rightfully see how and why the CNBC interviewer referred to Ethereum. Thus, he kept on beckoning on why he, William Hinman, and essentially the entire SEC, thinks that Ethereum is not a security, even though it had the same mode of operations to these SEC-claimed security assets, like XRP. And right after that interview and others like it, where William Hinman termed XRP to be a security and Ethereum a currency, we saw the prices of these two digital assets going in opposite directions. While Ethereum was going up, XRP started to see a steep decline, which got investors wondering whether or not these SEC officials, who've sworn to protect investors' rights, are after their gains. So these guys at the helm of affairs at the time were believed to enjoy affiliations with entities that were in direct partnership with the Bitcoin and Ethereum organizations and foundations respectively. And that trend resulted in the demand for these emails so that the general public could see for themselves through Hinman's email correspondence whether or not the Hinman 2018 speech about Ethereum had been influenced by a third-party opinion, or whether it was from a professional standpoint, which, by all indications, we beg to differ. Nonetheless, being able to take a sneak peek into Hinman's emails between other SEC staffers, third-party agents, and himself is a victory that the XRP community will be celebrating for a long time. A link to the Procoin News website can be found in the description section below. Check that out and scroll to the bottom of the page, just like I'm doing right now, and check out the recently released 71-pager documentation of the Hinman emails. I know it's quite a lengthy piece, and so you can scroll down to the second scrollable image box above the CNBC video interview to view the emails by hovering your mouse over the image and using the buttons at the bottom to scroll through all 71 pages. So, moving on, we've got this post from attorney Jeremy Hogan, posted on Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, where he quotes attorney James K. Fineland. In his words, "Finally, I feel like Ripple has taken the gloves off and is talking about how ridiculous the SEC's litigation tactics surrounding the Hinman emails are. The judge may still allow this surreply, but at least Ripple is calling out the delay tactics strongly." And with that tweet, we wrap up today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.